I didn't know what I was going to do. Just sitting at the house, kids going to school, and I go back to sleep or something. I didn't really have no goals. I didn't see anything for myself until I realized that I can't even help my kids. I can't help myself. I just need to make that choice and to do it.
What type of suit are we talking about?
A lawsuit.
Yes.
Something that bring it back.
With me, I had to do everything on my own. I had to get everything on my own. It was just, I didn't think that I was able enough to do anything. I looked at my life and I looked at my past, and I seen like, if I go back to this life, I'm going to end up dead. The top is different from the bottom, so they can't be parallel.
That's what we want.
Imagine being someone who's given a driver's license application and you can't fill it out.
Imagine not being able to give your medicine properly to your child because you cannot read the label.
Imagine what the world would be like if you couldn't read the marquee on the bus as it approaches the bus stop.
Imagine going after a job that will lift your family, that will provide for your children, and not being able to fill out the job application.
Imagine not being able to read a story to your child.
Imagine if you can't write a note to someone to tell them that you love them.
Imagine you couldn't open a history book and turn to the Declaration of Independence. Imagine you couldn't read those lines where we're all of us endowed with certain unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Imagine you couldn't read those words that we're still trying desperately to live up to.
I started writing about the adult literacy challenge in Detroit when a literacy center director came to me in 2001 and said that half the people in Detroit couldn't read. I literally burst out laughing because I thought, what an exaggeration. But what she was talking about was this 1998 study done by the National Institute on Literacy that estimated that 1 of every 2 people above the age of 16 in Detroit read below a 6th grade level.
Most students that are coming in, they have internalized somewhere along the lines. I'm stupid, I can't read. I'm stupid, I can't do math. Lavanis O'Neill, she's a single mom who is really trying to help her kids with her schoolwork.
Devon was one of the students who,
Good morning.
when he called, he was very definite in that he wanted to enroll in school. And one of my questions, are you sincere? Is this something you want to do and you feel you can follow through? And he says, absolutely.
It takes courage for a community to admit there's a problem. It takes courage for an adult to step forward and admit that they need to get help. We do estimate that up to half of the adults in Detroit do struggle with basic reading tasks, and it might be up to 1 in 3 in Michigan. This is not a Detroit problem. It's a regional problem, a state problem, it's a national problem. But in Detroit, we're going to do something about it once and for all, and we're going to be a beacon to other communities to learn from us.
One of the things that we have to really pay attention to is to not say that people can't read. There are varying degrees and levels of reading, but functional illiteracy is a type of illiteracy that means you cannot function at a level that's needed to do the things that you need to do in life.
There has not historically been a way for all of the literacy providers in our community to work together, to share best practices. In effect, they've been forced to compete for dollars and even to some extent with each other, all doing the same kind of work, but all scrounging for funding, both private and public, that isn't there.
I mean, we estimate that there's probably only 3% of the adults who need adult basic education who are receiving funding from public sources. Reading Works is a group of community leaders and organizations, and we're all dedicated to one thing, boosting adult literacy in our community.
And it would be a focused way for you to marshal to aim your resources rather than trying to...
One of the beauties of Reading Works is it isn't reinventing, it's not starting over. So we're not looking to create yet another agency that does the actual work. We're looking to take agencies that have demonstrated that they do this very well and create capacity for them, makes connections for them, create resources, and have them all work together for the common goal, which is to have our adults read.
The difference that Reading Works is going to make is bringing everybody together. Consistent funding, other service providers helping the agencies help their learners with bus transportation, with eyeglasses, with childcare, with health care, referring people that need to get help to read better through the United Way and the 211, referring people to an agency that will be able to help them. And the thing to remember here is this is the community coming together, community-wide. It's a collective effort. Wayne State University has set up an Office of Adult Literacy on its campus to be a resource for the agencies, to organize regional forums, and to plan for a national conference, a national symposium on adult literacy in 2013 in Detroit.
One of the things Reading Works did was to make sure we listened. All of our partner agencies identified that they needed help recruiting more learners to their programs and recruiting more volunteer tutors.
Reading Works exposes us. It gives us the exposure that people know that we exist. That's probably one of the hardest things there is in this field, is to market yourself as well as recruit students, staff, and volunteers. It's very difficult trying to do it on your own.
So, next word.
College.
We've created a Pathway to Literacy Fund where our agencies can apply for funding for their students, for their adult learners.
And most of our students come with a multitude of barriers, which inhibit their ability to come to class. I've got a barrage of students whose gas and lights are cut off. Some who are looking for places to live because they've suddenly found themselves homeless. Some who have no food or clothing, transportation. Those tend to be the main ones, along with child care.
All of these things can keep learners away from what they should be doing, which is learning. So what the Pathway to Literacy Fund does is provide grants to agencies to pass along to learners who need a little bit of cash, maybe to apply to bus transportation, maybe to child care, so that they can keep on the path to getting a better job, to helping their children at home, and create a learning culture for the kids at home.
Exploiting.
We always talk about the children, but we really have to look at the root of why the children are not reading. The children are not reading because apparently at home their adults, their grandmother, aunts, moms, or whomever cannot read.
Trying to help my daughter to read, like saying the word that is not actually the word, and she know the word from like, Mom, that's not the word.
EXPLOIT.
Is that it?
If the parents, guardians, caregivers read to the children at home, they're going to do better in school. They're going to be able to find a good job. They're going to be able to create that culture for their own children, and that's when we have a better workforce. That's when we have an education system that works with children succeeding, and that's when we break the cycle of functional illiteracy in our community.
The best way to provide for me is getting an education, getting an education, respecting your fellow people, and just living your life to the fullest.
Got it?
Yeah, because this is double of that.
That's right.
Lavana has one test left to do on the GED, and she'll have it.
I have 10 points that I know that I'm about to get.
Remember to breathe. No one that has not made it through the process, who has not stuck with it, has been disappointed in the results.
Alrighty.
You're walking out of GED graduate. Congratulations.
Being here at Mercy Education just really changed my life. I never expected this in a million years.
It says passed. one she just took? This one she just took? She made it. Well, of course you made it.
If you believe that a modern workforce, highly educated, is important, join ReadingWorks. If you believe in the future of our children, that we owe them an opportunity to succeed, starting with a learning culture at home. If you believe in that, join ReadingWorks. If you believe that this community can succeed and transform itself, join ReadingWorks. Help us transform the community.